Saddleback has won the toss. They will defer their choice to the second half. Southwestern will receive. Shake hands. Good luck.
And yes, it's another win for Kent Swearingen.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good afternoon and welcome to Bobcat Football here on SportsNetUSA.net, coming to you live from Mission Viejo, the campus of Saddleback College. I'm Matt Rogers alongside Ryan Osborn and Corey Neyland for today's game between the 7-1 Saddleback Bobcats and the 6-2 Southwestern Jaguars. We've got 2 games left in the regular season. Both of these teams are battling for the playoffs.
Yeah, and Matt, you take a look at these two. You see Southwestern, who's struggling just a little bit, 2 straight losses after winning their first 6. And on the other side for Saddleback, they've looked fantastic, especially offensively. 31 points last week, 59 the week before. Corey, this is a dynamic offense at this point.
Saddleback is probably I'm going to say the best offense in their league, even with Riverside being in there. Riverside is going to mention the Saddleback may be the most well-rounded offense in this league.
All right, so Saddleback won the coin toss. They elected to defer, so we're going to see Southwestern on offense to begin this game. And here comes our opening kickoff. It's going to be taken about the 2-yard line, brought out past the 10, across the 20, and brought down at the 27-yard line. And that's where Southwestern will take over for their first possession of the day.
And, Matt, I'll go back to you. You look at this Southwestern offense. They start off with one quarterback who ends up in silver with 1,100 yards, 13 touchdowns, 2 picks. Then all of a sudden in the last 4 games, Ty McCutcheon has come in, almost exactly identical numbers for McCutcheon in pretty much the same offense.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how that moves forward in today's game. They also have a running back in Caleb Blocker who's going to take, or the fake to him right there, swing out to the outside, and pass completed out across the 35-yard line. Caleb Blocker averaging over 90 yards per game. And that is Silber, who's in at quarterback here. So Ty McCutcheon has been the starting quarterback for the past 4 games, but it is going to be Brayton Silber taking the snaps to start this game.
Yeah, and he ends up being taken down by Jaden Humphrey on the far side. Humphrey along with Eamon Carter, and then near side is Lucas Short.
There's the handoff up the middle, pushing forward close to the first down. We'll see where they spot it, and they're going to call that a first down.
Jacob Sekioba finishes off guys in the back, in addition to Noah Luganbill. 2 linebackers here today, Orlando Gonzalez, in addition to Jack Knudsen.
So we're going to take a look at a couple of strengths for both these teams. Southwestern comes in with a very strong running game with both their running backs, Blocker and Ashby Fan. Ashby Fan, the one who got that last carry. And the Saddleback run defense has been very strong this year. Lots of pressure on that play. Gets away. Sekioba, the only one who is in the area, but it falls to the ground incomplete.
Yeah, and you look at Sekioba, he had an interception last week. He's got a couple so far this season. He's done very well in anticipating where the ball is going to go. Like you saw there, he goes over towards the 46-yard line, thrown just a shade over top of him, but he would have been there to support.
So it's still going to be Ashby Fan in at running back. No Caleb Blocker so far. Silber on 2nd and 10. Going to take the snap and drop back. He rolls to his right, gets his pass away, and that's complete out close to the 40-yard line. That was Clint Thomas Jr. with the catch and a first down for Southwestern.
Sekioba makes sure he finishes off the play, but in this case, all he has to do in this case was be able to get outside the initial linebacker. That's Knudsen on the near side of the field that he gets just past and then is able to hook over to his right. Lots of soft opening there, soft space for him to be able to make that reception.
It looks like the snap didn't come when Silber was expecting it, and a false start is called. Speaking to Coach Fisher before the game, he said one of the things that they really are focusing on in stopping this Southwestern offense is at tight end. Josiah Jefferson, 27 catches, 342 yards, and 3 touchdowns coming into this game. Probably the most skilled tight end we have seen Saddleback face this year. The fake handoff to Ashby Fan, and Silber keeps the ball and picks up a couple yards. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 13. Braden Silber can run the ball. Not overly athletic, but not the kind of guy who is a statue in the pocket, and showed right there that he can get a few yards.
Real quick, finishing up the defensive line, Kaleo Brown, Gavin Blum, Yosefa Tepeni, and Marley McKenzie.
Clinton Thomas goes in motion from the left side to the right side. Silber takes the snap and drops back to pass. He's looking downfield. Had a man, but overthrew him. He was looking for Nick Klein. Sekioba over there, along with Lucas Short. Sets up a 3rd down and long for the Jaguars. They've been pretty good on 3rd downs. They're converting 48% of their 3rd downs on the season, one of the best in the state, but this is a long 3rd down. There's the drop back. He gets it away and complete That was Josiah Jefferson, the man that I mentioned earlier, and he's going to take this out for a first down to the 30-yard line.
So Jefferson ended up going one-on-one with Cedric Dunklin. As he comes across the field, Corey, you see him just find a little bit of open space, and that's all he needs, and that pass is within his stride, too.
Yeah, and that's Thomas III and Becker going downfield to create that open spot for Jefferson.
So a first down for Southwestern and a flea flicker. They hand off to Ashby Fan, and that pass is down the field. Josiah Jefferson all alone walks into the end zone, and Southwestern opens up this game with a touchdown. Braden Silber to Josiah Jefferson, that man that we said that Coach Fisher was worried about. Taking a look at the replay, the flea flicker and Josiah Jefferson just is all by himself.
And Corey, I'll bring it over to you. One of the keys for a successful flea flicker is making sure that when you're the running back, you don't get too deep into the offensive line by the time you make that turn and pitch it backwards. In this case, you see Fan who ends up getting right up to the back of his offensive line and is able to pitch that back. Since he doesn't get too deep, it allows for the timing to work.
And what it does is they open up Josiah Jefferson. He did the same thing last week and the week before that to open up their scoring. He had 2 touchdowns last week against El Camino, and he starts it off right now, and that's Braden Silber getting back into the flow after 4 games off. It was interesting, Matt, how we talked about how he would get back into the flow in his first time back.
Yeah, and he certainly looked comfortable on that first drive. And the Bobcats brought some pressure, but it didn't seem to faze him. He looked very comfortable in the pocket and completed those passes. So we'll see if Saddleback can answer back. And, you know, they have been all season long. This offense has been a well-oiled machine. So we'll see what they can do when they take their first possession.
They've essentially been scoring at will. We saw last week where at one point they had 9 possessions and scored on 8 of them, one of which, the only one that they didn't score on, was a 15-second drive going into the half.
That's going to be Blaukamp taking this out across the 20-yard line to the 30 and brought down at the 33. So we'll see the Saddleback offense take the field. Tyler Dudden threw 3 touchdowns last week and going to be the quarterback leading the offense onto the field right now. He's got Kayvon Clark in the backfield with him, with 3 wide receivers.
Second thing is somebody spilled a bunch of food in the hallway up here, and I just wanted to let you know.
Dudden takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Clark, throws that ball downfield, but it is incomplete. He was looking for Max Krosky.
And Ryan, was that Dylan Eads back there on the pass breakup?
Yes, you are absolutely correct. He ends up getting over to it and is just able to get his hand there in time.
There's the handoff to Clark, looking for something. Unable to find it, comes back to his right, but stopped in the backfield for a loss of 2.
Quickly on the offensive line, Nicholas Brown at left tackle, Tyrone Portis, Ryan Carby, who is one of the captains for this squad, in addition to Talani Ano and Greg Shade from left to right.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 12 for the Bobcats. Last thing you want to do is go 3 and out after that impressive scoring drive for Southwestern. Dudden drops back to pass, gets this one out complete to Francisco Martinez. He breaks a tackle, moving out to the outside, but unable to get to that first down marker. He's brought down around the 38-yard line, and that's going to bring up a 4th down for the Bobcats.
Matt, it just seems like it has been months since we saw the first opening drive of a game for Saddleback not go at least for 1 first down.
Yeah, I mean, the games that we have called together, we've seen the Bobcat offense, especially in the first quarters, they have come out firing. And this drive stalls
to receive. Jamari Ashby Fan.
I love it. Thank you.
Ashby Fan back to get this punt. It's a short one. It's going to bounce, and it takes a decent Saddleback bounce and goes out of bounds at the 27-yard line.
Ball goes out of bounds at the 27. First down for the Jaguars.
Back up. Come back up.
And guys, that offensive line, we got four of them. Jonah Rodriguez, who's the team captain for Southwestern. Adrian Gutierrez, Dylan LaFlame, Derek Primdas for the Jaguars. And I'm missing one. We'll get to that in a sec.
So Brayton Silber back out to lead this offense. Fakes the handoff, gets this one away. A flag flies. Pass is complete. Complete to Josiah Jefferson. But a flag on the play.
Chop block, number 58, 79 of the offense. After this is to the goal. First down.
So a chop block is called. Adrian Gutierrez and Robert Martinez. And so here we are in the second drive, and we talked before the game started about Caleb Blocker, the running back for Southwestern, who is averaging over 90 yards per game. He did not appear at all in the first drive. It was Jamari Ashby Fan. And to start this drive, it's Jamar Johnson in the backfield. So we have not seen Caleb Blocker yet.
Cooper Cirillo is going to enter here for Khalil Brown on the right side.
There is the handoff to Jamar Johnson. He goes up the middle, picks up a couple of yards, but not much.
Jamar Johnson on the carry. Quickly taken down by Orlando Gonzalez.
And it's interesting, guys, when you talk about Blocker, you're looking at the third most yards per game in the league, second in yards total in the league as well.
So that brings up a second down and 19. Sober drops back to pass, gets some pressure, gets this one away, complete to Clint Thomas Jr., his second catch of the game.
And Corey, that pass is just a quarterback understanding what he needs to do in the time that he is given. It's just a little looper right over top of Gonzalez, who's in at linebacker at the 25-yard line. Over top of one guy, lands in his receiver's hands. He doesn't have to do too much with it, doesn't fire it in there, but it gets him a first down.
So here we go with third down and 7. Silber looking to pass, gets this one away. It is incomplete. He was looking for Johnson out of the backfield, but unable to connect with him.
Dominic Lopez was the one there who broke it up for Saddleback. He ends up seeing that route go on to that far side, and he stays right on the hip, makes sure that his hand is in there, doesn't allow for a clean opportunity to make the catch.
So Blaukamp back to return this punt. There is a flag on the field. Blaukamp calls for a fair catch. We'll see what the flag is.
Blaukamp makes a fair catch for the Cats at the 31. First and 10 now, Saddleback.
Sekioba was in the backfield pretty quickly, so you're thinking it could be an offsides on Saddleback.
We wait and see. I believe it's on Saddleback. We see some conversation with Oscar Rodriguez, the coach of the Jaguars, asking him whether they want to replay the kick.
Offsides, number 7 of the defense. That penalty's declined.
That,
First down.
that was Sekioba, but they declined the penalty, and
big part of why that is because there wasn't just Sekioba who was close to blocking that punt. There were two different guys in the backfield. So in this case, you'll take it to give yourself better field position and less opportunity to get that blocked inside your own end of the 50.
So Tyler Dudden leads the offense back out onto the field. Darian Campbell in the backfield with him. Clark and Campbell been the two running backs for the past few weeks. Dudden's going to keep this one out to the right side, gets past the line of scrimmage, but not much further. Gets maybe 2 or 3 yards on that one.
And that's kind of the advantage of having Tyler Dudden is the fact that he is a very mobile quarterback. He can run. He's also very physical. You see him there. He doesn't go into a slide, goes right at the backer, and allows for the contact to happen.
Tyler Dudden, the second leading rusher on this team with 238 yards coming into this game. There's a snap on 2nd and 8. Pass out looking for Francisco Martinez, but I feel like there was a little bit of miscommunication there. Martinez didn't turn around in time, and that ball hits the ground.
Martinez thinks that it's actually going to go to Nico Lopez, who is setting a block for him just in front right at the hash mark. And while Lopez is setting up the block, Martinez, like you said, doesn't end up turning around because he's expecting it to go to someone else.
4 wide receivers on a 3rd and 8. Dudden drops back to pass. A little bit of pressure. That ball was tipped and falls incomplete. He was looking for Martinez again, but looks like they might have even hit his hand on the pass there. And in this game of two really, really good offenses, we see our 3rd punt in the first 4 possessions.
Well, you knew that Saddleback's offense wasn't going to be as good as they were in the last couple weeks at all times against a team who is fighting for a chance at a playoff spot. For Southwestern, this is their opportunity to really make a statement.
There's the punt, and it is short once again. And this time it's going to take a Southwestern bounce back towards the 40-yard line and stop before it gets there. Picked up by Kyle Wynn, and it's going to be a first down for the Jaguars. 7 minutes, 22 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. It is 7-0 Jaguars over the Bobcats right now in a game that is a must-win for the Jaguars. If they lose this game, their playoff hopes are over. There would be no scenario in which they could make the playoffs if they lose this game. There's the snap. Pass complete. Out across the 45 and close to the 50. Going to be about a yard short of the first down.
And Matt Ryan was talking about earlier about Saddleback not being able to stop offenses constantly. And you see there as Noah Luganbill makes the tackle. He is their team's leading tackler from the safety position.
That was Ashby Fan out of the backfield. Still no blocker. Brings up a 2nd and 1. There's the handoff out across midfield. And a first down for the Jaguars.
And where it's problematic here, Corey, Matt, is the fact that he never actually got contacted until he was 2 to 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. That off tackle on the left-hand side was wide open for him.
Yeah, and that's one of the things when the Saddleback runs this type of defense with 2 linebackers, they're not scraping off those blocks, and the offensive line for the Jaguars are getting good push up the field.
That was Caleb Blocker's first carry of the game, and it goes for a first down. A pickup of 8 yards. Blocker's averaging nearly 7 yards per carry on the season. There is the pass to Blocker. Might actually be called a run there because it looked like Silber threw it backwards.
Yeah, that's what you call one of those long 29 sweeps on the left side.
Pickup of 9 for Blocker. Sets up a 2nd down and 1. That pass complete out to Johnson.
And you guys were talking about Johnson as being one of the more skilled tight ends that we have seen throughout the season. you look at just how well he's able to use his size. He gets up the field. He makes sure that he turns, presents his hands very well, catches away from his body and reels it in. This is a guy who is very possession-based and uses his size to his advantage.
6'4", 225 pounds. Just a big guy out there. Silber takes the snap, gets that one out. Once again, it's Jefferson, and Jefferson pushed out of bounds. Flags flying all over the place.
We may just see a hold on the far side of the field.
On that far side, Jonah Rodriguez was out in front.
Holding. Number 84 of the offense. 10 yards from the spot. First down.
Oh, they get Clint Thomas Jr., the team's leading receiver.
So that's going to push the Jaguars back, set up a first down and long. About 17 yards to go.
Real quick, guys, there's only one game that has started before this one in the state of California, and it's Golden West and Canyons. Golden West 37, Canyons 7 at the half.
Silber looking downfield, gets this one away, and that's going to be, oh, nearly picked off.
Goes in and out of the hands of Noah Luganbill, who pops in front of the route. He sees where that ball is going and is watching the eyes the whole time. He gets up in front of it, but Matt Corey, it's one of those opportunities for a defensive back where they look upfield and see all the green grass and then forget to secure the football.
Yeah, if you look at that, he had a clear path going back down the field. We could have seen another pick six, because I don't know, with the momentum that he had carrying him forward, I don't know if anyone was going to be able to stop him there if he comes up with that pick. Instead, it's just a second down and 17. Silber in the pocket, gets a little bit of pressure, gets this one away, going deep, and that was nearly intercepted by Sekioba. It hit him in the hands. And it falls incomplete. Going to bring up a third down and 17. So you look to Josiah Jefferson here. You got to try to make sure that he doesn't get open down the field. 17 yards is a difficult conversion. Lots of pressure. Gets that one away, and it's intercepted. And there's nobody in front of him. To the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. It's another pick six.
In this case, it's Kyle Nguyen who pops directly in front of that one. He sees that it's a quick little turn right about the 32-yard line, gets in front, and he is off to the races. All he had to do was secure the football into his chest, and it was 6.
Kyle Nguyen with the interception and the return for a touchdown. The 7th one that we have seen this year. This Saddleback defense is opportunistic, to say the least. So just moments after Luganbill dropped an interception that looked like it could have gone back the other way, Kyle Nguyen steps in front of one and takes it back all the way. 65 yards, and we are suddenly tied up in a game that has seen the Bobcat offense stall and the Jaguar offense moving. But now with 4 minutes, 6 seconds remaining in the first quarter, we've got ourselves a brand new game.
And the route running for Southwestern hasn't been crisp on the outside. Usually they'll get to those spots and they'll have those quick movements. Now the rhythm may be off between Silber and his wide receivers because of that 4-game absence. But again, that Saddleback defense, as you said, Matt.
Take a look at that interception, and Kyle Nguyen just steps in front of it. And then it's just a foot race. Blocker tried to chase him down at the end there. You see he got close to him, but Nguyen able to take it all the way.
And what he did there is just outfought him like boxing out in basketball. Go get the ball, box out, and take it for 6.
So here we go with the kickoff. The score is now 7-7. That's going to be taken 2 yards deep in the end zone, brought out across the 10, close to the 20, but brought down around the 7-yard line. Ashby Fan with the return, not able to get out to the 20-yard line. And we see a man down for Saddleback.
Injury timeout.
That is Jaden Gianova, sophomore linebacker.
And, Matt, you mentioned a few times about the playoff implications for Saddleback. So if Saddleback wins, they've pretty much assured a playoff spot?
So if Saddleback wins this game, then we've got El Camino and Riverside are playing later today. If Riverside wins that game, that will put Saddleback in first place at 6-0, and then Riverside and El Camino at 5-1. So things could happen based on tiebreakers. I'm not sure exactly how the tiebreakers go, but things could happen where Saddleback doesn't make the playoffs. If Saddleback wins this game and El Camino beats Riverside, then both El Camino and Saddleback have guaranteed themselves a playoff spot. There's the snap and the handoff out across the 30-yard line.
So according to the SCFA rulebook, I took a look at it earlier this week, and it says head-to-head is the initial tiebreaker, and then after head-to-head, it goes to whoever is ranked highest in the state of California or in Southern California as well, and then you go to power ranking index.
Okay, so if Saddleback wins out, or if Saddleback, I don't know.
No, it's
Saddleback would win the tiebreaker against Riverside because of their victory over Riverside.
essentially it's if Saddleback wins out, they would win the tiebreaker no matter what because they'd have the head-to-head. They'd also have the power ranking. But let's just say they win today, lose against El Camino, they'd still end up owning the tiebreaker because the power ranking index valued Saddleback's schedule and who they've beaten so far over top of their opponents.
I think we need to have a conversation at halftime.
So it would seem that a victory today for Saddleback would clinch a playoff spot. Don't quote me on that. Silber takes the snap, gets that one complete to Nick Klein. Nick Klein close to a first down. They're going to give him forward momentum out to the 42-yard line, and that's a first down.
Devon Carter was the first one on scene. First down, Southwestern at their own 42.
Brings up a first down and 10 for the Jaguars. That interception Silber threw, just his third interception on the year. There's the handoff to Ashby Fan up the middle. And Ashby Fan picks up a good 6 yards there.
And Ryan, you see again Latuli on the tackle one more time, not touched until you get down 3-4 yards in the middle of the field.
Yeah, and it's really difficult to be able to stop drives if you're going to see guys go up with rushes. And like you said, Corey, 2-3 yards upfield before they're even touched. You're cranking out 5 to 6 yards per carry. That's going to make you stay on the field for long periods of time, not catch your breath.
That pass thrown along the sideline, complete to Tyler Becker, his first catch of the game, and a big play for Becker, going to bring up a first down deep in Saddleback territory.
Good slip of the tackle against Luganville. Luganville came flying in, had a beat on him, but Becker, one more time, very elusive on that sideline.
Illegal touching, number 11, man who caught the ball. That's loss of down, third down.
And so they call illegal touching on Tyler Becker. He must have stepped out of bounds before
5-yard penalty,
receiving that pass.
third down.
And that is a huge penalty against Southwestern. Instead of a gigantic gain, they're going to lose yards and they lose the down.
And the half judge on the near side had his cap off right at the 47-yard line of Saddleback. That's where he was whistling it down the entire time. As soon as the reception was made, the officials were right on it.
So it looked like Southwestern was going to have a first down inside the 30-yard line. Instead, it's a 3rd down and 9 back at their own 43. We see some discussion with the referees.
Correction, illegal touching is just a loss of down. It'll be 3rd down, previous spot. Please set the game clock to 1 minute and 18 seconds, please.
Okay, so a correction on that penalty. Instead of a 5-yard loss and a loss of down, it's just a loss of down. So they keep the ball where they started that play on their own 48-yard line, but they lose the down, goes to 3rd down, and brings up a 3rd down and 4. So we're going to see Silber by himself in the backfield. He's got 5 wide receivers. Gets this one out and complete, and a first down to Ashby Fan.
Pass complete to Ashby Fan. On the tackle for the Cats, Knutson, joined by Brandon Ross.
So we've seen a lot of Jamari Ashby Fan,
Southwestern, the Saddleback 44.
more than we've seen Caleb Blocker today. And Ashby Fan is having a really good season on his own. We talked about Blocker earlier in this game, as flags fly there on a false start.
50 the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So Blocker came into this game averaging a little over 90 yards per game and 6.9 yards per carry. But Ashby Fan, he's rushing for over 50 yards a game, and he's getting 6.7 yards per carry. This is a 1-2 punch. Either one of these guys can hurt you.
It's very similar to what you see on Saddleback's offense, where you have Kayvon Clark who can get you up the field. You have 3 different guys, one of them being Darian Campbell, who can also get you up the field. The successes for both these two teams on offense are eerily similar.
Fake a handoff and get this one complete out to the outside, out past the 40-yard line. That was Clint Thomas Jr. with the reception.
To Thomas.
And that's something you can't have if you're the Bobcats, something that should have been a minimum of 1 yard on that out pattern. You pick up almost that first down. Now you're 2nd down and 4, and you realize it was 1st and 15. So they pick up 11 yards when it should have been 1.
And that play brings us to the end of the first quarter here on SportsNetUSA.net. We've got ourselves a close game. We've got the Bobcats with 7 and the Jaguars with 7 as we move to the second quarter.
Don't forget, here on SportsNetUSA.net, we've got more community college football coming your way. East LA will be hosting Pasadena City College. That is a 4 p.m. start. Again, 4 p.m. East LA will be hosting Pasadena City College. And we want to remind you that there are plenty of sporting opportunities here on SportsNetUSA.net. Just yesterday, we had Cypress and Saddleback, 2 very good teams in the Orange Empire Conference, battle it out right here on SportsNetUSA.net for women's soccer. And there's plenty of men's soccer coming your way, volleyball as well. If you're looking for community college sports, look no further than SportsNetUSA.net.
I was talking to a guy yesterday who said Saddleback women are going to win the state title.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me, especially if I'm not mistaken. They were ranked number 3 in the nation at last check.
Yeah.
Number 2 now.
Okay. Yeah, that guy was here.
So Saddleback should be thanking their lucky stars that they are tied in this game 7-7. Their offense has held the ball for 2 minutes and 23 seconds. They had 7 yards of offense in the first quarter. So they have as many points on the board as they have yards in this game.
Khalil Brown ends up getting the tackle here. And that's actually the first time that we have seen a rush stop just about at the line of scrimmage or one behind. I mean, going back to what you're talking about, Matt, the offense just hasn't had the rhythm that we're used to, especially in the first 2 series.
And they haven't had a chance to hold the ball. It's been, I don't even remember the last time they had the ball. So Southwestern has really been possessing this ball and methodically making these drives. Lots of pressures. Gets that one away, and it's intercepted. Taken out across midfield to the 40, to the 30, to the 20. He's going to take it all the way. Touchdown!
Dominic Lopez is the one who ends up getting it there. He's backpedaling, and by the time that he gets possession of that football, he looks up to the sideline, and he's got blockers on his left. Now, the issue is this one is actually going to get called back, if I'm not mistaken, on the far side. Two of his blockers end up grabbing the jersey and holding on to it as guys move past them. One of them, in Fan, was trying to get the tackle at the 41-yard line, and he gets pushed aside. So we might see this one come back. Nonetheless, possession to Saddleback.
Number 59, the return team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It'll be 1st and 10, Saddleback.
So Gavin Blum with the illegal block in the back, going to bring that touchdown back. We got a little bit of excitement there, but it's still Saddleback gets the ball. Important turnover there.
And Corey, I'll bring it over to you on this one. You look at that throw, ill-advised because he is about to be taken down. In this case, don't you just want to throw it towards the line of scrimmage and get that ball out of bounds?
Yes.
Dynamite drop in there, Corey.
1st and 10, Cats at Mission.
There's the handoff to Kayvon Clark. A pickup of 2.
Clark on the carry.
And guys, as an offensive unit, could you say that this Southern League is the most explosive offense in the state, this Southern League with Saddleback, this Southwestern team, El Camino, and Riverside?
Yeah, I absolutely would, especially if you're looking at Southern California. I mean, you look at the conference that Fullerton's in, very defense-oriented and a lot of low scores. You look at this conference, and you're looking at routine 59-point opportunities, 41 points. Just looking at the other day, 59-41 for Saddleback and their opponent, San Diego Mesa, combining for 100 points. Then you go back to that Riverside City game against Saddleback. That goes into double overtime, both teams sitting at over 40 points apiece. Each of these teams in this conference have the ability to go for over 350 yards per game on average. This is the best offensive talent as a whole if you're looking at every single team across the conference.
I may be dating myself a little bit here, but kind of reminds you of the WAC back in the day, the Western Athletic Conference.
Okay. I get with that. Dynamic running backs, balanced offenses. Yeah.
So here we go, 2nd down and 8. Dutton gets this one off to Martinez. Martinez makes the catch out across the 40-yard line to the 37, and it's a 1st down for the Bobcats.
And guys, that injured player for the Jaguars was Carson Curtis, their team's 2nd leading tackler, leading sack person, leading tackle for lost person, so that's a big blow.
There's the handoff to Clark. He takes this one out across the right-hand side, past the 30 to the 25, and pushed out of bounds about the 24-yard line, and it's a 1st down. And that's the explosive nature we've seen from Kayvon Clark this year.
And Matt, Ryan and I were talking a little bit before the game that Kayvon Clark, you could think that he would have 1,000 yards rushing.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that is preventing him is just the number of carries. He's still, with today, the carries from today, still under 100 carries for the season. There's another one out across the 20-yard line. Another big play for Kayvon Clark as he pushes it inside the 10-yard line. It's going to bring up a 1st down and goal from the 9.
And it's funny, that's exactly the same thing Ryan said. That number of carries, if he had well over 100, yeah, he'd be looking at 1,000.
So that's going to bring up a 1st down and goal from the 9-yard line. There's the handoff to Clark. He's going to go up the middle, and not much there. Yeah, I spoke to Coach Fisher just a couple weeks ago, and he said that at the beginning of the season they just weren't sold on any of their running backs, and so it was a true running back committee at the beginning of the year where we would see a different running back every single drive of the game. And then Coach Fisher said as the season has progressed over the last few weeks that Kayvon Clark and Darian Campbell have extended themselves beyond what the other running backs are doing and have become the true feature backs in this offense. Got a second down and goal, and that's going to be handed off to Darian Campbell. Campbell out across the 5, runs over a man and brought down at the 1-yard line.
Down to the 1.
And that's the more physical running style of Darian Campbell that we've seen in each of the last 3 weeks combined, that he's been giving a lot of touches. He's not afraid to go at people. In this case, he knew that if he goes at that last line of defense right at the goal line, he's going to get an opportunity to possibly fall across. In this case, doesn't happen, but he sets them up well.
That was Brady Eads trying to make the tackle, and Campbell just ran right over him. 3rd and goal. There's the handoff to Campbell. He's going to go right up the middle. Is he able to get there? It looks like he was stopped, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and goal. And from what we know of Coach Fisher, I don't see them kicking a field goal right here.
Yeah, and Campbell, what he thought was that everyone had all combined low, so he goes to jump over everyone and then realizes there's about 5 different people at 6'3" and above who have not gone low. So he runs right into everyone and ends up getting stopped at the 1.
4th and goal now for the Cats.
So Campbell comes out, and Clark comes in. And there's the fake handoff to Clark. Dudden looking into the end zone, and he's got a man. It's Gentilella. Nick Gentilella with the touchdown. 1 yard from Tyler Dudden. And the Bobcats have taken the lead.
And it's interesting there, Corey, because if you take a look at what happens, you have 2 guys dragging to the outside. One of them is Nico Lopez right at the goal line, and he has another option past Gentilella going towards that far corner. But he waits for Gentilella to come clear and fires a laser.
Fifth touchdown on the season for Nick Gentilella. Extra point is up and good, but we've got a flag.
Illegal substitution defense. That penalty's declined. The point is good.
The flag for illegal substitution, but that penalty is declined. And the extra point is good, and the Bobcats take a 14-7 lead. We take a look at the replay. Excellent play fake there. And Nick Gentilella just coming across the back of the end zone. Tyler Dudden able to find him, and it's 7 points for the Bobcats.
And, guys, I think it was a well-executed play on defense as well. They were in position for those guys rolling out to the left side, so Dudden didn't have a chance. But the way the freshman has improved and played this season, like you both said, he waits for Gentilella to come all the way across the field in the end zone and throws a strike.
And even then, the coverage on Gentilella was pretty good. That pass was put up high where only Gentilella could get to it, and he was able to go up and come down with it. So we've got a 14-7 game. There's 10 minutes, 33 seconds remaining here in the first half. Bobcats, who had 7 yards of offense before that drive, able to drive it down and score. And that's the Bobcat offense we've been used to. Kickoff goes out of bounds. Not what you're looking for on that kickoff.
Kick out of bounds, Southwestern. Saddleback will take 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
So Brayton Silber and the Jaguars going to get some pretty decent field position, taking over on the 35-yard line thanks to that kick going out of bounds. Silber with Caleb Blocker in the backfield. He's got 4 wide receivers. Quick pass out. It was Brandon Ross on the coverage.
And what's happening, Matt and Corey, is that you're starting to see these defensive backs for Saddleback look at the eyes of the quarterback, and wherever the eyes of the quarterback go, that is where the pass is going. There is no deception at the moment, and you're starting to see these telegraph passes where the defensive backs can pop up or cut through the route and get their hands on it.
We've already seen 2 interceptions in this game. We also saw a dropped interception, a couple of dropped interceptions. Lots of pressure. Silber not going to get away from it this time. He's brought down a loss of 3 on the sack.
That's going to be Gavin Blum. It'll be his 3rd and a half sack this season, first of the game. He has 5.5 tackles for loss now.
Brings up yet another 3rd down and long for the Jaguars. Seems like they've been in 3rd and long all game long, but they've done a good job of converting a lot of them. So it's a 3rd down and 13. Silber's got 4 wide receivers, and he's got blocker in the backfield with him. And a whistle there. Silber didn't get the snap off in time.
And any indication on what that play is going to be, you're going to look at Josiah Jefferson trying to work the seams on that route, and Nick Klein on the outside, on the near side, number 10 in white for Southwestern, to bring that defense out and open up that middle of the field.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 18, and Silber, who looked so crisp on that first drive, seems to be showing a little bit of the rust of that multi-week excursion to the bench. Gets this one away, and nobody is near that one. He was looking for Tyler Becker, but Becker was a good 5 yards beyond where that pass landed, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And the Saddleback defense is playing very well. There looks like there's a flag on the field.
That's going to be on the coaching staff for Southwestern.
Coach Oscar Rodriguez, very heated down there.
We have 2 dead ball fouls, unsportsmanlike conduct against Southwestern. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 18. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct to the head coach. Both penalties will be enforced. 4th down.
The white hat didn't sound happy on that call, did he?
Not in the slightest.
He did not. So both Braden Silber and the head coach are flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct. That's going to bring the ball all the way back inside the 10-yard line.
Coach Rodriguez has to be careful. He's talking to the official and the white hat.
And he is very angry, and he needs to watch what he says, or he might not be here much longer.
And he's trying to defend his quarterback after the ball is thrown from that heavy rush from the Bobcats.
So it brings up a 4th down and 38. That kick gets off. Blaukamp fields it out across the 40-yard line. Another flag comes flying in.
Flag on the play. He was wrestled down by 15, Jacob Sersansi.
So 4th and 38, and the kick didn't even get 38 yards.
On the return, holding, return team. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
So a hold called on the Bobcats, going to back them up a little bit, but they're still going to have excellent field position. They're still starting this possession in plus territory inside the Jaguar half of the field. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Tyler Dudden with Darian Campbell in the backfield. Got 3 wide receivers. There's the handoff to Campbell. Out to the left side. Doesn't go down there. Breaks a tackle out across the 30. And Darian Campbell rumbles all the way inside the 20-yard line. Brought out of bounds at the 17. And a 1st down for the Bobcats.
And Ryan, what you like about that play is his balance, putting down that one arm and keeping up.
First down and 10 from the 17-yard line. Another handoff to Darian Campbell. Campbell picks up 5 on that carry.
Again, it's Villasenor on the tackle. Gain of 4.
So they give him 4 there, brings up a second down and 6. Ball's on the 13-yard line. Tyler Dutton's going to pass this one, gets this one away quickly and complete. Nick Gentilella with the catch. Inside the 5-yard line, going to bring up a first down and goal for the Bobcats. And this is the Bobcats offense that we've seen the last few weeks where it's just unrelenting. They just come at you, and they don't give you time to breathe. There's a snap and the handoff to Campbell up the middle. Still pushing, going to be brought down at the 2-yard line.
That's a real good stop there by Valentino Wedderburn. He ends up just stopping him right at, like you mentioned, right at the 2, but he stands him up. He makes sure that his momentum stops. He can't get past him and fall into the end zone.
Darian Campbell is not an easy guy to stand up. He is a big fella. Dutton's going to keep this one out to the outside, and Tyler Dutton into the end zone. Touchdown, Bobcats. Tyler Dutton's 5th rushing touchdown of the season, and the Bobcats extend their lead. And guys, this is what this Bobcat offense does. 1 second, they're struggling. They've got 7 yards of total offense. The next second, you look up, and they have a 2-touchdown lead.
And all it takes is the one big play by Kayvon Clark, and that's something that we've seen, especially in each of the last 3 home games. Whenever Clark gets a chance to get at least, or excuse me, that was Campbell earlier who got the big run. But whenever these running backs have an opportunity to get a big rush for 15, 20-plus yards, it really sparks this offense, and it gets them into a rhythm, gets them working, because the run game is absolutely crucial to how their pass game goes.
Yeah,
it opens things up.
The defense set it up for them. Those big interceptions, those finally stopping and run, it allows a team that averages 213 yards on the ground, 234 yards through the air, to get their rhythm and get their confidence. And you're sitting at 21-7 already. Just a moment ago, it was 7-7 and didn't have any flow to this ball game.
So now Southwestern is in fight or flight mode.
I figured you were.
Interesting thing, too, for Saddleback, the first quarter has been very kind to them throughout the season. 93 points in the first quarter combined across all of their games entering this one.
There's the kickoff, going to be taken at the 4-yard line. Brought out across the 15 to the 20, and he's brought down there around the 24-yard line. And flags come flying as this game is starting to get a little chippy.
And I believe that may be Caden Hunter.
Personal foul, number 87, Saddleback. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Josh Peters.
Well, Justin Zeppa made his second special team tackle today.
And this is a situation where the Bobcats have to keep their cool. They're in control of this game. They're up by 2 touchdowns. They don't want to be giving away free yardage right here. They want to stomp out this Jaguar offense and keep building on that lead. Silber drops back to pass, gets this one away. Unable to find his man. He was looking for Tyler Becker again. And Silber definitely starting to look a little rusty.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is on the far side, Ross was the one who was in coverage. Ross thought that ball was going right into the receiver's hands. The receiver was playing defense because he thought that was going into the defensive back's hands, and both of them don't get the football.
Brings up a second down and 10. There's a snap. Silver gets this one away. It is complete. A nice move and a first down close to midfield. That man, Josiah Jefferson, once again.
Have you seen a better tight end this year?
I have not seen one.
No, if you're talking about blocking specifically, I think Nico Lopez gets a lot of rave reviews from across the entire conference. But if you're talking about a receiving tight end, it's been Jefferson, and it's pretty much in the clear.
So that brings up a first down and 10 right at midfield. Silber hands this one off. Going up the middle is Jamar Johnson. Jamar Johnson with a nice pickup of 7 yards. Southwestern going no huddle, getting right back up to the line of scrimmage. There's another handoff to Johnson, and he is hit in the backfield, able to make it back to the line of scrimmage, but that's about all. Going to bring up a third down and short for the Jaguars. We tick under 6 minutes left in this first half. 21-7, Bobcats lead this game, and a big third down for Southwestern. What might be 4 down territory here. Silber, not much time, but able to get this one away. It is complete. Immediately tackled by Sekiyoba. Clint Thomas makes the catch, but they're going to say that it was enough for the first down. Sekiyoba was all over him the second he caught that pass.
Yeah, and Corey, look at the defensive shift that is caused by Knutson on the the left-hand side of the defensive line. It's going to be a 2-linebacker blitz on the right, and then all of a sudden, as soon as they send a guy into motion, they shift everyone to force everyone to go right. They're leaving Sekiyoba wide open on that left-hand side.
First down and 10. Silber gets this one away, complete to Ashby Fan. Ashby Fan picks up a couple of yards. A rough tackle there, but nothing illegal.
And Ryan, you mentioned the linebackers. Orlando Gonzalez did a nice job on that play because it looks like the back out of the backfield had an opening at the seam. But again, Gonzalez filled that gap to prevent any.
Second down and 7. Saddleback looking like they're going to bring some pressure here, and they do. Silber able to get that one away, but it falls incomplete. Looking to the right-hand side along the sideline, that was Nick Klein.
And there was pressure by Dominic Lopez off the left side.
So once again, another third down for Southwestern. It's the 8th third down of the game for them. They've converted 3 of them. Silber, lots of pressure on him, able to get this one away, but he did not have time. Luke Averill with lots of pressure.
And that's the play that we were looking for earlier, Corey, where he's running over to his right in distress, and instead of what he did previously, which was lob the ball into the air, which got picked off and taken the other way, in this case, he finds the line of scrimmage and just throws it over top to make sure that he gets out of it without losing yardage.
Yeah, and Averill did a nice job because as he's rolling right, the play was designed to come back towards the middle of the field because he had Josiah Jefferson on a drag coming through. But as soon as he turns around, big number 97 is in his face, and he has to throw it away, as you said.
So we got a timeout by Southwestern. 4 minutes, 3 seconds remaining here in the first half. It is 21-7. Bobcats lead here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Quick little out-of-town scoreboard. Golden West 51, Canyon 7 as they start the fourth quarter there. Glendale and Santa Monica. Santa Monica leads it 10-7 at home as they enter halftime in just a couple of moments. A matchup that has severe playoff implications upstate in California, as Sierra 17 leads it by 10 over top of Shasta. And finishing things off real quick, San Francisco 14, Foothill 7, midway through the second quarter there.
So Southwestern's going to go for it here on 4th and 7. Silber drops back to pass. He's got some good protection, gets this one away, but that pass is short, incomplete, and the 4th down conversion does not come to pass. He was looking for Ashby Fan down the middle, unable to find him, and it's going to be good field position for the Bobcats with just under 4 minutes left here in the half. And remember, the Bobcats get the ball to start the second half, so I'm sure they would love to go down, put 7 points on the board, and then start with the ball at the beginning of the second half.
Yeah, and that was perfect zone defense by the defense, because what happens is they have 3 levels of that zone. Southwestern only ran 3 routes into the deepest part of the zone, nothing really underneath. There was no way to complete that pass.
So Tyler Dudden with Kayvon Clark in the backfield, going to try and add to that 2-touchdown lead. There's the handoff to Clark, who goes up the middle, pushing his way for about 4 yards. One switch that we have seen, we talked about the difference in the backfield, how at the beginning of the year it was a committee, and Clark and Campbell have kind of emerged. We've seen a lot less Nicky Johnson as the season has gone on. Tyler Dudden has really taken the reins of this offense, and Nicky Johnson has been playing very scarcely over the last few weeks.
And correct me if I'm wrong here, Matt, but he started 2 weeks ago and then ended up being subbed out for Tyler Dudden halfway through.
Yeah, there's the swing out to Kayvon Clark for a first down close to midfield. Nicky Johnson has had some good moments, but Tyler Dudden has definitely been the more productive of the 2 quarterbacks, and it's really not even close when you look at their numbers. Tyler Dudden doesn't turn the ball over as much, getting the ball into the end zone, and then he also has that added benefit of being more mobile in the backfield. And Coach Fisher just feeling that Tyler Dudden gives him the best opportunity to win these games. There's the handoff. Not much there. Patrick Bassley. We haven't seen a lot of Bassley.
Thaddeus Woods made the tackle, gave him a couple second and 8.
We see Kayvon Clark on the sideline looking like he might be injured. His helmet comes off, and that would not be good for the Bobcats. Dudden drops back to pass. Lots of pressure. Flag comes down. That pass into the line.
Holding, number 79, 10-yard penalty, second down.
That'll be Anthony Hastings, the 6'4", 310 freshman out of Corona Del Mar. Kind of subbing in and out with Greg Shade on the right side of the offensive line. As you mentioned earlier today, you're looking at a Saddleback team that normally has Alvarado on that right-hand side, but Shade has also had starts there, and he's actually started each of the last 2 on the at right tackle.
So 4 wide receivers, Bassley in the backfield. We see them working on Kayvon Clark's lower body on the sidelines. That pass is complete to Gentilella. Finds a blocker and able to get past the original line of scrimmage. And it's going to be a 3rd down and 8 as we go down to the 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Bobcats lead this game by a score of 21-7.
Down some scores down there in the 4th quarter.
I'm Matt Rogers alongside Ryan Osborn and Corey Neyland. And guys, this game for the first quarter was not looking Saddleback's way. They barely touched the field on offense. They had 7 yards of offense through about 17 minutes in this game. And then in this second quarter have really kind of taken over. The only thing that kind of saved them in that first quarter was that interception return for a touchdown, and now their offense has shown up here in the second half, or second quarter, and they have opened up a 2-touchdown lead.
I was going to say, and Matt, you've been here for a couple of seasons calling Saddleback. This season, it looks like they've been a team that just simply doesn't worry about anything, that they're going to get the job done. Is that what you've seen?
I would say that, and I think that really is reflective of their coach, Coach Fisher, who I've spoken to numerous times this season, just kind of has this feeling like we're going to go out there, we're going to do our best, and things will take care of themselves. And that's kind of the identity that this team has taken on. So it's a 3rd down and 8 for the Bobcats. Dudden going to keep this one, goes up the middle, but he's going to be stopped right there at the 43-yard line. It's 44-yard line. Going to bring up a 4th down and 4, and we'll see what Coach Fisher does here. Does not look like the offense is coming off the field, so they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Correction, 4th down.
Tyler Dudden's got 4 wide receivers. He's got Bastley in the backfield with him. Drops back to pass, nothing there. He's going to tuck it and run, and Tyler Dudden picks up the 1st down. Looked downfield, recognized he had nothing down there, and just heads to the sideline. A good block on the outside by Max Krosky, able to get him the last couple yards for the 1st down. Minute 13 seconds remaining in the first half. There's the handoff to Darian Campbell. Campbell goes up the middle, spins off of 1 tackle, keeps pushing and finds 4 yards on 1st down.
And again, Saddleback has the luxury of time right now. You got a minute on the clock. You know that you had 3 timeouts that you can work with. If you get points here and then you get the football coming out of the half, you can really take a full command of this ball game.
Dudden going to look downfield, doesn't see it, moves out to his right side, looking downfield again. He's got Gentilella just out of his reach. Gentilella had a step. Tyler Dudden unable to connect.
You can also hit Drip Coffee if you'd like.
Tyler Dudden was looking to the left side, didn't see anything, pulled the ball down, rolled to his right, and Nick Gentilella got a little bit of separation, and that ball just hung up a little bit too long and went a little bit too far, and Gentilella unable to pull it down. Brings up a 3rd and 6. Dudden going to get this one off complete. Out across the 30 to the 25, down close to the 20-yard line. That was Krosky with the catch, and Saddleback going to use their first timeout.
And Krosky's a nice guy out there. He had a touchdown last week against Palomar, but he's another one of those receivers. They don't have blindingly fast, speedy receivers or ends, but they always seem to get open when needed.
Krosky is kind of operating a little bit in a hybrid type of position. He's functioning a little bit like that second tight end that normally we see Gage Galbraith as, or at least that's what I've noticed so far today, that he seems to be operating in kind of a hybrid wide receiver tight end position, throwing a lot of blocks, and there he makes a catch and gets that first down. We got 33 seconds left on the clock, 20 yards to go for the Saddleback Bobcats to try and add to this 2-touchdown lead.
And Ryan, you were mentioning scores from today. Last night, did you happen to catch the Laney Diablo Valley game?
I did not.
23-20, Diablo Valley beats Laney. Laney played inspired last night. They had the lead late in the game, but Diablo Valley, with 2 seconds left, tied at 20, kicks a 27-yard field goal to win it.
And speaking of out of town, San Francisco 21, Foothill 7, San Mateo 28, San Jose 7. There is a very real possibility where San Mateo gets into the playoffs as the previous number 1 and does not win their conference.
First down, Tyler Dudden going to roll this one to the right. He's going to tuck it and run out across the 10-yard line. Dudden cuts in, touchdown! Tyler Dutton just let that play develop in front of him, cut to the inside. I think that the Jaguars were looking for him to run this out of bounds, and he said, I've got this lane here, and he just takes it all the way. Huge touchdown for the Bobcats.
A leisurely stroll in the park. That's what that looked like, because he was just going out to his right. Like you said, he's looking upfield, looking upfield, and the Jaguars just stopped. Plain and simple. They stopped because they thought he was, like you said, going to the out-of-bounds marker to stop it and get themselves an opportunity for another play with the clock stopped. But in this case, as he turns to his left, he just realizes you could drive a semi through that hole. It was wide open because everyone pushed across to the sidelines.
Well, you could not ask for a better second quarter than we have seen from the Bobcats. They've outscored the Jaguars 21-0 here in the second quarter, and with 24 seconds left in the half, it looks like they're going to go into the locker room up by 3 scores, and they get the ball to start the second half.
And that was crucial, too, because, again, if you're the Bobcats, you were just looking for points plain and simple going into the half, knowing that you're going to get the football back. You put up 7 and now get a chance to put up another 7 coming out. You have a chance to just look at this game and say, we're not even going to allow you to get a thought of coming back in this one.
And Southwestern, this game started so well for them. They took the opening kickoff, drove straight down the field and scored a touchdown, and it has just been all Bobcats ever since. And the little dribbler down the middle of the field. Jaguars going to take this one at their own 37-yard line. They got 21 seconds and 2 timeouts to try and salvage something before the end of the half. You also don't want to make a big mistake here. This Saddleback defense is known for pick sixes. The last thing you want to do if you are Southwestern is throw an interception here. And it looks like they're going to just take a knee and go to the locker room and lick their wounds. Sober takes a knee. That's going to run us down to the end of the first half. So through one half here on the campus of Saddleback College, the Bobcats lead this game by a score of 28-7. On SportsNetUSA.net, Bobcat football 28-7 at the half. Saddleback Bobcat football here on SportsNetUSA.net. I'm Matt Rogers alongside Ryan Osborn and Corey Neyland in this game that saw the Bobcats get off to a slow start but take a commanding lead in that second quarter. We're starting our opening kickoff of the second half with the Bobcats up 28-7, and that ball's going to be taken about 2 yards deep in the end zone and brought back out to the 19. And the Bobcats are going to take over there. So, as I was saying, Ryan, that first half, the Jaguars got off to a good start. They scored on their first possession of the game, and it has been all Bobcats ever since. And they opened up a 3-touchdown lead going into the half.
Yeah, it all starts with the pick six in that first quarter. Again, it's another pick six here at home. We've seen a lot of them here, but defense has led to the offense getting into a rhythm, getting going as well. Tyler Dutton has been excellent in each of his last 2 series, and if they're going to put this game away early here in the third quarter, they're going to rely on his arm and his legs.
Dutton has 1 passing touchdown, 2 on the ground. There's the handoff to Kayvon Clark, who spins out of that first tackle and picks up 5.
The tackle, C.J. Clavier. Pick up a 5 in the play, 2nd and 5.
Corey, you haven't been here with us for Bobcat football this season. What are your impressions of this team the first half you've seen?
You know, I like them live.
There's the play action complete across the middle to Francisco Martinez.
Yeah, I like them live because we got a chance to watch them when they played Fullerton at Fullerton, and they lost that game in a highly contested match. The next game against Riverside, got a chance to watch that one, and that looks like they found who they were in only the 3rd game of the season. And again, not afraid to play and not scared to do anything.
Tyler Dutton, play action to Clark, gets this one incomplete, was looking for Joseph Walter. Unable to make that connection. Yeah, the Bobcats have really been laying it on the last few weeks. Their last 4 weeks, they've outscored their opponents 168-78. They are just cruising through conference play.
And it's all been about their starts, too. In the first quarter, like we mentioned, they have 100 combined points. Their second quarter hasn't been amazing, but the rebound in the third quarter has been very good. They have a if I remember correctly, a plus 47 point differential in the third quarter.
Kayvon Clark takes the handoff there for a pickup of 5, going to set up a 3rd down and 5.
8 of 5 on the play.
You just wonder how many all-conference performers are going to be on the offensive side of the ball for the Bobcats.
I would say Kayvon Clark is a shoo-in. There's the handoff to Clark, bounces off a tackler, fights his way close to the first down. We'll see where they spot him. They're going to say he's a yard short. That's a 4th down.
Wedderburn again on the tackle.
Coach Fisher not shy about going for it in tough situations, and he is going to do that. 4th down and 1 in his own territory. Tyler Dutton's got 3 wide receivers. He's got Clark in the backfield. There's the snap. There's the handoff to Clark. He's going to get around the end, fighting for that first down. Did he get there? It looks like he just barely got it. It looked like he was going to be stopped maybe half a yard short, but Clark just pushed his way forward and gets the first down.
And it again shows the aggressiveness of this Bobcat offensive mentality. That's the 3rd time today that we've seen them go for it on 4th down. They converted on each of those. And if you're looking at it from the offensive standpoint, you also feel the confidence from your head coaching staff saying, I know that we are going to go and get this line to gain.
And I also think it shows confidence in that defense to say, there's the handoff up the middle, the confidence to say, hey, we're in our own territory. If we don't make this, we're going to give the ball up in our own territory. But I trust my defense to go out there and make a stop. That was Jalen Beverly rushing with the carry there for a pickup of 8.
2nd and 2.
Another handoff to Beverly Rushing, who goes around the right side and out of bounds, but not before picking up good yardage and a first down.
And it seems like Southwestern has lost that steam from when they started the ball game. They've realized that they're down by 3 touchdowns, and they just don't have that, oomph to get back into it. And you've got, 5 straight runs from Saddleback trying to wear them out.
So it's Beverly Rushing in the backfield for the Bobcats. Dutton's going to fake the handoff to him. Lots of pressure, but gets away. Looking downfield, a flag comes out, probably a hold. Complete to Martinez. Nice pass by Dutton downfield, but this ball's going to be coming back.
Holding, number 62, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Hold called on Greg Shade.
If I remember right, guys, I don't think I've seen Carson Curtis since he went down with an injury earlier on in this one. So that's the other thing that's affecting Southwestern on the defensive line. Again, like Corey was talking about, he's top 3 in tackles. He's leading the team in sacks with 6. To lose a guy like that early on in this one, you're just not getting the pressure that you're used to.
Dutton looking downfield, not able to find anyone. Moves to his left and gets this one away to Gentilella. Flag comes out. Gentilella makes the catch.
And this one's coming back as well.
Eligible downfield, number 52 of the offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's going to be Ryan Carby.
So the way this quarter's going, you're going to have a Saddleback drive and then the fourth quarter.
And the Bobcats are not known for their long possessions. This team is very, very quick to the line. They rarely huddle. They move very, very quickly. It's not very often we see 5-minute long drives from them. There's the handoff. Beverly Rushing up the middle. Not much there. Pickup of about 3, going to bring up a second down and 22 for the Bobcats. Tyler Dutton's got 3 wide receivers. He's got Beverly Rushing in the backfield with him. Lining up in the shotgun, takes a snap. Looking downfield, gets this one away to Gentilella. Complete, and he is brought down at the 40-yard line. Going to set up a 3rd down and long. 3rd down and about 14.
3rd and 14.
Line to gain for a field goal, if possible, would be close to the 21-22-yard line. That is the career long at 38 yards for Saddleback's kicker.
And another flag.
False start, number 77 of the offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It was Tyrone Portis with the false start. 3rd penalty on this drive. Bobcats working against themselves right now. It brings up a 3rd down and 19. It's going to be hard to get into field goal range from here. There's the handoff to Beverly Rushing.
Jalen Beverly Rushing on the carry.
7-yard run for Beverly Rushing. Going to bring up a 4th down and 12.
And on the tackle was Montestein.
They're going to keep the offense on the field.
Helmet off during play. Has to sit out 1 play, 25 seconds on the play clock.
So Beverly Rushing has to come off because his helmet came off. Kayvon Clark onto the field, and on 4th down and 12, the Bobcats are going to go for it. Kind of that in-between range where, a punt might go into the end zone. Dudden drops back to pass. Pressure on him. Rolls out to his right. Gets this one downfield complete. And that's a first down. Max Krosky with the catch. And a first down for the Bobcats.
A good job by Dudden there, waiting, and biding his time until he could find that one guy open. And that was Krosky, who finds the sideline and sits there. He's asking for the ball, presents his hands. And again, all he has to do is just find a pocket of space past the sticks, and he does so successfully.
And I think that's sort of the evolution that we have seen from Tyler Dudden. Is earlier in the season, you know, he would have gotten rid of that ball earlier, but he's keeping his eyes downfield. There's Kayvon Clark bouncing off tacklers. This guy just does not get brought down, fighting his way inside the 10-yard line. But Tyler Dudden always seems to keep his eyes downfield, waiting for something to come open, and when it does, he spots it. And that's definitely some growth that we've seen from the beginning of the season. First down and goal for the Bobcats from the 8-yard line. And they've eaten up 8 minutes of clock on this drive. There's the handoff to Clark up the middle. Clark inside the 5, brought down at the 3-yard line. Brings up a second down and goal. Second down and goal from the 3-yard line. There's the handoff to Clark up the middle, nothing there. Third down and goal from the 3, and based on what we've seen in this drive, I can't imagine Coach Fisher kicking a field goal if they don't get it right here. So they've got 2 plays to get 3 yards right here.
And with Dudden's legs, you might think a RPO to Clark and roll out to the left side and scoot on into the end zone.
There goes Martinez in motion. Dudden looking for Nick Gentilella, unable to find him, brings up a 4th down.
There were 3 different options on that left-hand side, 2 of which were in the vicinity, including Gentilella, like you mentioned. But that pass goes in between 2 different routes, and it's difficult because it's behind Gentilella and just ahead of the next guy, Nico Lopez on that far side.
And this is the spot where Coach Fisher says, you know what, let's just kick it. Manuel Maganda. He's 4 of 4 on the year, and he stays perfect. And a field goal. A flag is on the field. Waiting for the call, but it doesn't look like they're gonna.
Leveraging against the defense.
And that's gonna be a first down.
An automatic first down.
So it's leveraging
Ow.
on the defense. And Corey, for those who don't understand what leveraging is.
Oh, I thought you were going to give us a definition.
Sorry,
Oh,
I was going to you.
Oh, leverage was when they're going against the offensive line and they're basically pushing down on the offensive line and coming back up on a lineman or their own player and pushing up and coming up and trying to block the kick.
So here we go, first and goal from the 2-yard line. Dudden with Kayvon Clark behind him. There's the turn. Looks to hand it off to Clark, and Clark didn't get that handoff. Dudden trying to make something out of nothing, and he is brought down for a loss of 2.
And that's Wedderburn. The second was there along with Jeremiah Jones. Or excuse me. Yes, Jeremiah Jones. He's the leading tackler for the Jaguars.
So we got second down and goal. This is the 18th play of this drive, and Tyler Dutton's going to keep it and hit hard, but falls into the end zone for a touchdown. Third rushing touchdown of the game for Tyler Dutton. Flags fly, but it's a touchdown for Tyler Dutton.
It's a phenomenal hit here, but the thing is, Corey, is that it's on his side. It's on his hip. Instead of going right into the shoulder and stopping the momentum, in this case, to the side, allows for him to fall into the end zone.
Touchdown. After the play was over, dead ball and sportsmanlike conduct, number 52, Saddleback. That 15-yard penalty being forced on the ensuing kickoff.
That goes against Ryan Carby. He kind of got into it with two of the defensive linemen for Southwestern. After the play was over, he felt that there was a little bit too much contact on his quarterback afterwards, and he pushes a guy right in the face.
Yeah, it looked like Jeremiah Jones, who made the tackle, pushed him into the end zone, kind of playfully nudged them on the shoulder and part of the head and said, hey, good run, good drive.
All in good faith, of course.
Maganda on to kick the extra point. It's up and it's good, and it's 35-7 Bobcats. That was a 18-play, 80-yard drive that ate up 10 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock.
That was methodical.
And that just feels like a back-breaking type of drive to eat up all that time and all those plays and to go up by 4 scores. Like, I don't know how the Jaguars come out and rebound from a drive like that.
And what's difficult about that, too, is the fact that you thought, if you're a Southwestern fan, you thought that you got the stop. You thought that you got the stop inside the 5-yard line and forced Saddleback after a long, elongated, Corey said, methodical drive. You thought that you forced them into a field goal. You end up getting the personal foul, and you find yourself dropping 7 more points. So now it's a full 4-possession game, and not just one where you say, yes, it is 4 possessions, but we can afford a field goal coming up.
Well, and for the Jaguars, they got the Bobcats to 4th down 3 times on that drive. Two times the Bobcats were able to convert, and then that penalty on the field goal attempt. So 3 times they got them to 4th down and just were not able to get off the field. There's the kickoff. It's taken at the 17-yard line, brought out across the 35, across the 40 to the 45, across midfield, and down to about the 42-yard line. A good kick return by Ashby Fan.
So if you are going to get a reply as a Southwestern fan, that's the way that you want to start it. You're on the other side of midfield. You get an opportunity to get your offense back into it. But it almost feels like, guys, plain and simple, they need a touchdown on this drive.
Yeah, I mean, there's limited drives left. There's only so many times you're going to touch the ball with 17 minutes left in the half. They've got to get something.
And Ty McCutcheon now comes in at quarterback, kind of what you were talking about earlier, Matt.
Yeah, we were talking at halftime when we said that at some point you've got to make that switch to Ty McCutcheon, and they have made that switch. A handoff on the first play. Caleb Blocker on that carry.
Marlon McKenzie in on the tackle.
Second down and 6. McCutcheon gets that one away. That's to Price, and he is Klein, and he is immediately swallowed up.
So again, a adjustment by the linebackers here, Corey, before this play starts, allows for there to be an extra defensive back on the near side of the field. Initially, it was going to be a blitz. The linebackers force everyone to shift back over towards the right. That's where you get the extra coverage.
So it brings up a 3rd down and 9. McCutcheon looking downfield. He's going for it all, and that one nearly intercepted. There were 2 defenders there. Lucas Short and Noah Luganbill both in the area.
And through these first 3 quarters, I can only remember one pass play longer than 10 yards or 15 yards. And that was to Josiah Jefferson.
For Southwestern,
Yeah.
they've had 2 to Jefferson, and they also had an additional 1 that got called back.
Okay.
So 4th down and 9. McCutcheon drops back to pass, gets this one away, and it is complete. And he's just going to get that 1st down. That was Klein on the reception.
First down now at the 30.
So a much needed 1st down there for the Jaguars, able to continue this drive. McCutcheon gets this one away. Complete to Clint Thomas. A.J. Perry
Helmet off during play.
with the catch.
Play clock to 40 seconds, please.
Gain of 4 on the play. 2nd down and 6.
2nd down and 6 for the Jaguars. Ty McCutcheon with Caleb Blocker in the backfield. He's got 4 wide receivers, trailing this game by 4 touchdowns. McCutcheon going to the end zone and overthrows his man. He was looking for Clint Thomas.
You know, guys, I think Saddleback's defensive secondary is playing with 7 people, maybe 8, because no one's open and everybody's double teamed.
It certainly seems like it. It seems like every single pass, there are just Saddleback jerseys everywhere.
Down and 6 now for the Jaguars.
Brings up a 3rd down and 5. McCutcheon gets this one away, incomplete. He was looking for the big man Jefferson.
That's Sekioba who comes in and dislodges that football. So again, just like you were talking about, Corey, they're swarming. It seems like every single place that Southwestern looks, there's a defensive back for Saddleback just right there in the immediate area.
So here we go once again, 4th down, 4th and 5 for the Jaguars. McCutcheon gets this one away, and he overthrows his man. He was looking for Ashby Fan, and it's going to be a turnover on downs.
And because the blitz on 3rd down created pressure for McCutcheon, he still hasn't got his rhythm in the first series of the game. 4th down, they fake like they're coming. They only bring 1 instead of 3. He rushes it, had his man wide open, and yet throws it wide right. And Saddleback can really end this game here if they come down and score.
And Corey, in that case, like you said, he rushes it, and he doesn't realize that he has a little extra time to work with, so he also drops his arm slot as well. So when you drop your arm slot, it's going to pop out and tail away from the guy that you're looking for instead of being straight on into the hands.
So Coach Fisher moves to Nicky Johnson at quarterback, leading this game by 28 points. Under 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. There's the handoff to Darian Campbell, and Darian Campbell pushes his way forward for a nice pickup, close to 9.
Darian Campbell on the carry.
That's the one thing about these running backs for Saddleback. You think you've got them down, and they end up picking up another 2, 3, 4 yards after contact. Nicky Johnson's first pass of the game is complete.
Johnson's pass complete. Oskadege on the catch.
Lucas Uztakigi with the catch. Hand off to Campbell. Out around the left side. He's brought down there.
Run by Campbell.
And you see both these running backs, Clark and Campbell, both from Arizona, and that we were talking about that influx of Arizona talent coming into Saddleback. They're using them wisely, and all their Arizona products are producing.
We're running down to the end of the third quarter. Just 30 seconds left. There's the handoff to Darian Campbell. Campbell goes up the middle, and there once again just keeps pushing the pile, and he ends up with the first down. And that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter here as time keeps ticking down. No reason to take another snap here.
And you look at Saddleback, it almost was exactly what Corey said. Saddleback had the ball. Southwestern would get the ball back, and we have the start of the fourth. 18-play drive, over 10 minutes gone off the clock. If you're Saddleback's offense, not only are you happy with the score there, and you're happy that you're able to get the ball back to start the fourth and really put this game away, but you kind of learn that you have the opportunity to score in a very different manner than what you're used to. We're so used to seeing Saddleback score with, like Matt mentioned, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Their series are usually nice and quick. Get up the field as quickly as possible. Get the ball down the field with big plays of over 20-plus yards. In this case, they didn't have to go to that. They said, we're going to run the ball, and until they stop the rush, we're going to stay with the rush. Once they stop it, then we'll go to the pass. We don't have to chuck it downfield because each of these little 4 or 5 yard dunks are going to work for us.
So we're about to start the fourth quarter here on SportsNetUSA.net. Saddleback leads this game 35-7 over Southwestern. Nicky Johnson going to put this one up. He's going deep with it, and he's going to overthrow his man.
Johnson's pass is incomplete. Intended for
Really quickly, just taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. A team that was real intriguing at the start of the season, Monterey Peninsula, 50-8. Modesto over top of Monterey Peninsula.
We were talking about them earlier, that they are the Southwestern in the north. Like, they won their first 6 games like Southwestern and going to lose the next 3.
There's the handoff.
Of course, with a lot of the conferences up north, there are fewer teams in the conference. And so there are fewer conference teams, and you play more preseason games.
Jalen Beverly rushing, taken down, and not able to get up immediately.
Beverly rushing out of Phoenix Mountain Point High School. Darian Campbell, Glendale, Arizona from Cullis High School. And Kayvon Clark out of Peoria. He went to Centennial High School. So the 3 Arizona running backs are in their top 5 in running backs for the season. But again, you get these out-of-town players and out-of-state players that really produce, and it just enhances the community college game. We've got a community college football game after this one at 4 o'clock on SportsNetUSA.net. That is East L.A. with Albert Robles and Mark Pavlovich.
Yeah, and they will be hosting Pasadena College, or Pasadena City College, I should say. We'll get to more out-of-town scoreboard in just a little bit because there are some intriguing scores and matchups that are going to decide a lot of playoffs.
Nicky Johnson puts this one up complete. Uzkategi makes the reception there. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 1. Patrick Basile in the backfield. We see Coach Fisher playing some guys who don't normally get a lot of snaps. There's Basile with the carry, picking up the first down. Uzkateki, a guy that we I don't think we've said his name all year, and the last 3 passes that Nicky Johnson has thrown have all gone to him.
Real quick, going out of town, Golden West 58, Canyons 14. That's a final. Sierra and Shasta. It's Sierra 38, Shasta 7. And then you also have to take a look at San Francisco Foothill. San Francisco 28, Foothill 7 with less than 10 minutes to go there.
Nicky Johnson going to roll to his left.
Nicky Johnson will end up keeping it for a couple.
And Johnson goes down. His helmet comes off.
Helmet off during play. Has to sit out one play.
Gillespie makes the tackle.
So Tyler Dudden comes in. A 2-yard run there for Nicky Johnson. Second down and 8. Tyler Dudden takes a snap. He's going to throw this one, gets that one out and complete to Gentilella. And Dudden comes off and dabs. Tyler Dudden under 100 yards passing in this game, but 3 rushing touchdowns. Got a 3rd down and 3. There's Darian Campbell with the carry. Campbell spins close to the first down, but I think he's going to be about a yard short. I would imagine Coach Fisher's going to go for this one.
Yeah, just a shade outside of Maganda's career high of 38. About 6 yards out.
There's Darian Campbell sprinting forward, has the first down.
And he barely made the first down marker. Wedderburn, the second, came up to make an outstanding tackle. That's 2 tackles in a row for Valentino on this drive, but yet cannot prevent Saddleback from getting the first down.
And Corey, if I'm not mistaken, on the initial he got stopped, but the reach up and over while he was getting taken down is what gives him the forward progress.
Nicky Johnson looking deep again, doesn't find anybody, and he has a ton of room. He's going to carry this one inside the 10-yard line and pushed out of bounds at the 6. There was just nobody on the left side of the field, and Nicky Johnson sprints downfield. He's looking like waiting for contact to come, and there's nobody there.
Part of the reason was Nicholas Brown, the left tackle for Saddleback, ends up falling on a defensive lineman. And he just kind of raises his arms and says, hey, I'm not doing anything. Yes, I'm laying down on the guy who should have been making the seal, but it's not me, guys, I swear.
There's the handoff to Darian Campbell, nothing there. Going to bring up a 2nd down and goal.
I'll play Mark, so it's not a pancake. You call that French toast?
Another
With
helmet
extra
comes
syrup.
off. So helmet off for Tyrone Portis. And then we also have a man down. So here we go, 2nd down and goal from the 6-yard line. Nicky Johnson hands this one off. Up the middle, touchdown! Jalen Beverly rushing. And the Bobcats just continue to pour it on.
Maganda to attempt the extra point.
Extra point. Looked like a rough snap, but a good hold. Kick is up, and it is good. And it is 42-7.
Southwestern 7.
We take a look at the replay. Nikki Johnson gets this one to Beverly Rushing in just a giant hole there. No one even gets a hand on him until he's got 1 foot inside the end zone. Third touchdown of the year for Beverly Rushing. And another great drive for the Bobcats. 15 plays, 74 yards, another 6 minutes and 32 seconds of play clock eaten up there. And this second half, the Jaguars have barely seen the ball.
Possession, possession, possession. That's the name of the game right now for Saddleback. They're more than happy to take these long drives because they are finishing them off. That's the other thing, too. It'd be different if they're getting down inside the 15. They're giving the ball up. They're not getting the points on the board. But as of right now, it's just hasn't mattered.
The wild thing is, if you think back to that first quarter of play, Southwestern had over 12 minutes of time of possession in that first quarter. For the game, Saddleback has had the ball 7 minutes longer. So to imagine the difference in time of possession from the second quarter on, Southwestern's just not touching the ball. And when they do, it's just quick drives, turnovers, and then Saddleback is just these long, methodical drives. A different offense than we've seen this year.
At their own 14.
So Ty McCutcheon with the handoff there. Jamar Johnson with the carry.
Charles Abuzame with the stop, the first on the scene.
No gain on the play.
Similar to the play a few minutes ago, puts his hands up in the air and says, I didn't do anything. I just made a tackle.
They should throw a flag just because.
Just for throwing your hands in the air at the end.
That pass is complete to Tyler Becker. Becker going to get out of bounds, but not before picking up the first down.
And guys, this is only the second possession of the second half for Southwestern.
Yeah, I don't know what you're going to do when you're down by multiple scores and you just can't touch the ball. McCutcheon going to keep this one.
McCutcheon on the keeper. Wilford was there again. Gain of a couple, second down and 8.
So Saddleback about to sweep the San Diego adjacent teams this season? Yeah.
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 3 consecutive weeks.
Mesa, Palomar, and now Southwestern. McCutcheon gets this one away, complete, and it pops out, and it's intercepted. I don't know if they're going to call that an interception or a fumble. That was a weird play.
That's a tough one because it lands in his hands clearly. He bobbles it for a second, it seemed like. So you see the ball go into the receiver's arms in just a moment. So McCutcheon goes back, clearly possessed right there, punched out, and it looked like it went off the knee for a moment and then just right into the awaiting arms of the Saddleback Bobcats. They get a gift right there.
So Wilford gets the interception. I'm calling it interception because he never had possession, came up and kicked out off his knee or punched out, whatever. Wilford, tackle, second down, INT, third down. That's the third of the game for Saddleback, gentlemen, right?
That is the third turnover.
Third turnover, third interception. They also have dropped a couple too.
So it's being called a fumble as of right now. There's the handoff. Patrick Basily with a first down.
And that's usually the area, too, or the type of ruling where you would hear the words football play. If he makes the catch and makes a, quote, football play, makes a move, makes a step in the direction of forward progress, But in that case, it just seemed like the ball got punched out as it arrived, goes off of his knee, and then lands right in Wilford's hands.
Yeah, my initial reaction, and I still think that I would call that an interception, but either way, it's a turnover, and it's Saddleback ball. Vasily getting a chance to carry the ball. Picks up a first down. That's going to be a first down just outside of the 10-yard line, so it's not first and goal. It's a first and 10. They can still get a first down at the 1-yard line. Nicky Johnson going to keep this one. A flag flies. Johnson bounces off a tackle. Still on his feet. Never actually goes down, but progress is stopped. Punches are thrown. Flags are out.
Yeah, and you're going to get a flag here because defensive player for Southwestern didn't end up getting to see the number, but he actually removed Nicky Johnson's helmet at the end of it.
It's going to be interesting on what they call here, because if the initial flag is on Saddleback, the helmet coming off is after the dead ball foul. So it could be just negating everything instead of offsetting penalties, because you back up and then move forward.
There's one live ball foul, one dead ball foul. Illegal formation, Saddleback, that penalty will be enforced. After the play is over, dead ball, personal foul, number 31. That'll be half the distance to the goal. It'll be first and goal, Saddleback.
And exactly the way Corey said it. So they move back and then move forward.
Total gain of 3 yards.
It's like that Paula Abdul song. 2 steps. I move 2 steps forward, you take 2 steps back.
We got MC Scat Cat.
So Saddleback with about 6-7 yards to go. There's the handoff. Vasily didn't want to go down all the way down to the 1-yard line.
Vasily, 6', 210 from Tustin High School. So the Tiller is looking to get into the end zone as his shoe comes off, and, well, there goes his first touchdown of the season.
Jalen Beverly rushing comes in. He's already got 1 touchdown in this game. Looking for a second. Nicky Johnson turns. There's the handoff. Beverly rushing into the end zone. Touchdown. Jalen Beverly rushing with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game.
You guys ever had a work shift on a Friday? You didn't really want to be there. You're unenthusiastic, but you go and you perform well. This is what this game has felt like for Saddleback. We're here. We might as well work. Now let's go home and enjoy.
So when you go out there, you set everything up on your own. No, I know what you're saying. It just seems like Saddleback has not only imposed their will, but going back to what Corey was talking about, you look at Southwestern. The first quarter went exactly the way Southwestern wanted it to. They were able to limit the offense of Saddleback. They got 2 straight stops. And then you also add the fact that Southwestern's offense looked good. They were getting the ball to Jefferson. They were getting the ball outside. Their rushes were working. As the extra point attempt is blocked, Southwestern's offense could not have played better for the type of game that they wanted in the first quarter. You go to the second quarter. All it took was the pick 6. Immediately following the pick 6, this game completely changed.
Yeah, and you talked about, and you both have been here for a few years calling these games. Saddleback, they were a bowl team last year.
They were.
They were a bowl team, not the year before, but prior year. But they seemed to be the underdog through the whole season. They didn't seem like the Saddleback of old. Matt, this team, again, I'll reiterate and keep pushing it through. They are simply different.
Yeah, this offense, Ryan was talking about last week how there were 8 possessions and they scored on 7 of them. Well, since the start of the second quarter, the Bobcats have had the ball 6 times. The Bobcats have scored 6 touchdowns.
That'll get you a win.
Kind of efficient, kind of.
So the score is 48-7. There's 6 minutes, 24 seconds left in this game. There's the kickoff. It's going to go through the back of the end zone.
And that play right there just goes to show you that Southwestern, for whatever reason, they couldn't come back against El Camino. They couldn't get there against Riverside. And now against another quality team, normally you'd get in the end zone and try to run that back to make a play. Well, against Saddleback right now, they say, you know what, guys, let's get down to Chula Vista, call it an evening, and let's get back and hopefully win that last game of the season next week.
And for the Jaguars, this essentially ends all hope of making the playoffs. Their pathway is shut. So from this conference, there will be 2 teams making the playoffs. It will be between Saddleback, Riverside, and El Camino. 2 of those 3 teams will be representing the conference in the playoffs.
And with a win today, and considering that Saddleback already has the win over Riverside, they have pretty much assured themselves a spot in the state playoffs. Now, we're not going to say immediately right off the bat, hey, they clinched right now. But so far, the way that it looks, especially if you go off of rankings, you go off the head-to-head, since they do have the win over Riverside, as of right now, it looks like they have assured themselves at least a spot in the state playoffs.
And if El Camino is able to take down Riverside tonight, then they would absolutely have clinched a playoff. There's the handoff up the middle. 10-yard run.
Just quickly looking around Southern California, it's important, too, because you have a team like Ventura who has already won their conference championship technically. They own every single tiebreaker against all 3 teams directly below them. So it doesn't matter if they lose the next 2. Each of the next 2 losses wouldn't matter because they are playing teams that are well below who could catch up to them.
Well, Ventura, actually, their last game of the season is against Mount Sac.
Even then, they would still own the tiebreaker over Mount Sac on the head-to-head because they would finish with a better record than Mount Sac.
Oh, I'm going to get back to you if that happens after that game.
There's the handoff up the middle. A nice run by Mike Hill Malone.
And speaking of Mount Sac, well, they technically got a win. They got a forfeit win over Allen Hancock today. So technically that goes in as a 1-0 victory for them. Another couple of teams that we're going to be watching, as Matt was talking about, El Camino and Riverside. That's a 6 p.m. start. Huge implications for Saddleback as, again, El Camino with a win over Riverside. If I'm not mistaken what you said, Matt, that assures Saddleback a spot in the state playoff.
Yeah, I mean, it would seem, based on what we think the tiebreakers are, that Saddleback is going to clinch right here with this win. But El Camino victory over Riverside, and there is no doubt there will be no tiebreakers. It will be Saddleback and El Camino representing the conference in the playoffs. And next week would be a showdown between 2 undefeated teams in the conference fighting for that first-round bye.
Yeah, and speaking of other teams across Southern California, as we were talking about in playoff picture, Fullerton and Cerritos, that'll be a matchup that happens at 6 p.m. at Cerritos, which also has a chance of really shaking things up across Southern California.
That pass is completed.
Pass was complete to 36 Villasenor.
Christopher Villasenor with the catch.
And on the tackle is Max Green.
Spencer James is going to come in on the defensive line. He's going to take the place of Gavin Blum. So it looks like Blum's afternoon is done. And a couple more guys come in from the second unit for Saddleback.
So 3.5 minutes left in this game. There is no scenario where Southwestern gets back into this. This was, we've been here for This is our 4th game that we've been here for. We've seen some really strong performances by the Saddleback Bobcats, but I would say that this was the most dominating performance that we've seen from them this year.
Yeah, and if you're looking at it in terms of overall points from the home games that we have seen, 45 against Citrus, 54 against Chaffey, 59 against San Diego Mesa, and then you follow it up with 48 against Southwestern. At home, Saddleback's offense has not only been clicking on all cylinders, but it just seems like they're able to do what they want when they want to. The moment that they get into a rhythm, they get the first couple of first downs, and they are immediately off to the races.
Yeah, it's just a team that when they touch the ball, they score a touchdown.
The ball's down on the 13. Pass is taken over 3:08 left in the 4th. 48-7.
So their scoring average, 38 points coming into this ball game. That'll increase a little bit.
So we'll see if they continue to go with Nicky Johnson, or maybe we see Carson Howard out there getting a chance to play a little bit in these final 3 minutes and 8 seconds. And it will be Carson Howard taking over at quarterback. There's the handoff to Bassley up the middle.
Bassley on the carry. Gain of a couple.
There should be just about one more play until the 2-minute timeout. So Southern California playoffs is going to be interesting. Brand new way that everyone can get in. It's now 6 teams instead of the traditional 4 that we have seen. It used to be 3 different conference champions, 1 at-large bid. But now everything has completely changed. Like Matt has been talking about and Corey has been talking about, different alignment for everyone as well in terms of the conferences entering this season. And it really changes how everyone's outlook on the season also goes forward, as it will be 6 in total. The top 2 teams get a bye through the first round. The bottom 4 teams play each other. And seeds number 3 and 4 host 5 and 6 in week 1 of the playoffs. And the winner of those 2 games goes on to play the 2 teams who ended up getting the first 2 seeds and come out of the bye.
So after the run by Bassley, we run down to the 2-minute timeout. So in their last 5 games, Saddleback has outscored their opponents 216-85. They're not just winning, they are crushing teams.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting when you get to the playoffs, because if everything runs according, let's say, to wins, if Mount Sac got a forfeit today against Allen Hancock, and so Mount Sac is going to play Ventura next week, as you said, Ryan. Golden West against Fullerton and El Camino against Saddleback. It'll be interesting on if every team has 1 loss, who gets those top seeds. And
yeah, it's going to have to come down to head-to-head. It's going to have to come down to essentially RPI with the power ranking index, and then rankings across the state too, which also factor in if you go to the SCFA's bylaws.
There's the handoff to Bassley, and for the first time since the first quarter of this game, the Bobcats are going to have to punt.
See, my thought initially, and I was actually proved wrong, Ed himself pointed it out earlier to me earlier this week when I was in an email chain with you, Corey, is that I thought it was the top 2 teams in each conference end up going to the playoffs. That's what I thought it was initially. But the wording on the state playoff explainer is very different than that.
yeah, it's the top 3 teams get a seed or are automatically in, the 3 division winners, but the top 2 get the byes, and the rest are not seeded according to where they finished in their division, but where they're ranked in the polls.
Right.
That's even better.
Just quickly jumping in, that was a first down by Beverly Rushing, so we will not see a punt here. And the Bobcats could probably just run the clock out here. I would imagine Southwestern has no reason to stop the clock at this point.
Yeah, because if Saddleback wins, they're in no matter what. If they lose, however, then it's interesting with the 2-loss Saddleback team. I still think they're going to get in. They've got to get in no matter what if they lose to El Camino, and El Camino will advance as well.
Howard takes a knee. We'll do that one more time, and that will bring us to the end of this game. It'll be interesting. That game tonight between El Camino and Riverside is going to have humongous implications on what we're looking at going into the final week of play.
And then up north, Ventura controls their own fate, and also Mount Sac. Really, if they win with only one loss, they're going to be in no matter what. If they lose, then they're hoping Fullerton loses to Golden West with those 2 losses, and then they're trying to get in. But most likely the 6 you're looking at right now, El Camino, Saddleback, Golden West, Fullerton, Ventura, and Mount Sac.
So with that final kneel down, really see the clock run down to zeros. For Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, Ed Ford, I'm Matt Rogers here on SportsNetUSA.net. Final score today, Saddleback Bobcats 48, Southwestern Jaguars 7. We will see you next week for Saddleback versus El Camino in the final week of the season. I hope you all have a great afternoon, and we'll see you next week on SportsNetUSA.net.